And welcome to episode 8 of Gun Torture Test Live. And I am going to be your solo host for at least right now, OmniFox. You've caught me in the previous 7 episodes, and today's episode is titled Goodbye, Friend. Um, may as well cut to the jib of it. This week, last week we lost Rich. Um, it's I'm gonna be as blunt as I can and just say Rich is no longer with us in the land of the living. Uh, he died on Thursday morning, early morning, and he's survived by his parents. He was about 42 years old. For those of you that didn't know him, he, you know what? You guys have watched him for years, putting up his videos. You know, uh, people actually, people that have been following for years. I'm not going to say that. You know, no one cared, but I know everybody here cared for Rich. You wouldn't be tuning in today to see this episode. Um, this is very likely to be our last uh, episode of Gun Torture Test Live due to both logistical reasons and to the fact that I don't feel comfortable doing it without Rich. Uh, this was our show from the beginning, and but Gun Torture Test is and was Rich's baby. So I don't feel the I don't feel comfortable pushing the show by myself. Um, and there's also the logistical things of this is also leads into an important statement of making sure that your estate uh, planning documents include various online accounts if they have value, which Gun Torture Tests had a lot of value to Rich. Unfortunately, there is no access. And I think it would be best if we uh, moved on from GTTL because it's just not the same without Rich. And today I'm going to eh, let's get to the obvious thing here. Is you can tell I didn't go to work today. I've been sitting and trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do for this episode. What do you say when your chubby buddy dies and you're the only one left on the show? Didn't go to work today. Didn't shave this morning. I've just been sitting in front of the computer wearing my uh, Glock swag and not doing a whole hell of a lot except looking for the bottom of this bottle of Jack. And I am a bit lost on what to do as far as uh, the rest of the show today. There's literally 30, 40, 50 people that want to, that have been IMing me, asking to come on as a guest. And I don't know how I won't be able to fit everybody on here. I won't be able to get through everybody, and I don't want to leave anybody behind. So it honestly is something that I say that I don't think that we should have any guests tonight because this is it'd be too damn hard, and it would be uh, too many onions being chopped, and shit. It's just I don't want anybody to feel left out, and that way, no one will feel left out if no one participate. If that makes sense. And as always, we're live on IRC, Twitter, the uh, uh, the YouTubes, and the Q&A app. I remembered to make sure and put it up this time. So if you want to leave something, a comment, question, uh, or just vent, uh, feel free to do it in any of those mediums. Well, I will say that when I made the post on Reddit on Friday, there was a huge outpouring of support. Um, Rich, I got to tell you, man, a lot of people, miss you, myself included. And there are over, 300 people wishing that you were still here with us, and that's just Reddit. That's just that little tiny corner. And I do have to thank a couple of users who actually made me laugh that day. For those of you that are familiar users with Gunit, we have various bots that do different things along the forums, and unfortunately, HivBus, Steven hasn't gotten around to programming the resurrect command. And Methane All Bad brought up a very humorous point of the fact that the last thing he did, Rich did, was banned a bitch. And I pointed out it's the last 3 things he did on Reddit. Reading through here, I got past the super manly tears of there goes my best buddy, and I'm now in. I just don't know right now of what we're going to do, how we want to go forward. The big thing that we will probably end up doing, and it's not to besmirch or forget Rich, but instead carry on in the fact that we want to continue to have a show. I want to have a show that involves the community that he loved, which was Gunit. As much, as he was a gruff bastard, he was actually a very, very nice man. And I'd like to continue supporting the community that he loved. And we're going to probably roll up here soon a Gunit Live show, because we can't really continue on with I've already explained why, and the fact that we have no real control over that, and plus it's Rich's, and I don't want to change anything. So Gunit Live will end up being a multi-panel show with me as your host, and generally 3 others from the subreddit. We'll definitely stick with Rich's idea of not doing the not being, his favorite word was for this was being gear queers. If that offends you, fuck you. And so we want to focus on community feedback, participation, and just general gun knowledge. Uh, we've got the Twitter up, and we've got the YouTube ready to go whenever we decide to get that off the ground. Uh, I, we've got a couple of people making comments, and yeah, and I have to agree with what people have said is that he was an asshole, but he was our asshole, damn it, and that he was, that he was. Uh, People keep asking me about a oh, so for you and those who are regular followers of Rich's, you know who Rusty is, and Rusty has been a champ with this. He's the one taking care of things right now. So I need to find out from him if we're doing any. People have been asking for where to send donations, where to send flowers. I honestly don't. I'm too far away to actually know any of that without making a phone call. Uh, I don't want to start directing people to start donating money to any charities in Rich's name just yet. We'll find out. We'll get some information out there. Uh, Services are going to be this weekend, I believe, but it's just going to be a very small private service, and that's about it. The the big thing I want to cover is he has been off the show for the past 2 weeks, but that hasn't been related to that exactly. There have been some technical issues, and it was just a unfortunate set of timings in his life and with what happened. Um, I don't think that really need to get into any more than that. Um, they there's no point to go too far into anything like that. So I'm gonna check the Twitter. See, I'm not seeing anything there. So nothing on the Q&A, and not much from IRC. No, those of you who are in IRC asking who Rusty is, it's Rusty. If you watch any of Rich's shows, you'll see Rusty, him talking to Rusty off camera quite often. This is one of his good real life friends. Meat Space is the yeah. That brings up that is you don't have to be uh, physically near a person to call them a friend. As in, there's I definitely feel that Rich was a very good friend over the past 2 years. That him and I have conversed and spoken uh, over the internet on, and I would consider him just as close of a friend as any meat space friend I may have. Um, the I do want to at least go over a little bit of things that happened in the sub today. I'm a little rambly because I honestly had no fucking clue on what to do. At one point, I was just going to do an empty stream with my chair and not say anything for 2 hours. But I definitely don't think I'm going to have that long of a show because I don't think I can. Uh, it's fucking fucking rough. I just oh yeah, this show is uncensored, and I fucking swear. Um, these shows will probably uh, end up archived to whatever podcast we end up doing for Gun It Live, and they will be a definitely downloadable content for the future. So Rich isn't going anywhere as far as GTTL goes. Uh, you know, we've had some. Rich had some good ideas as far as uh, what he wanted to do, what we wanted to expand out to be, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to see those come to fruition. And I would like to at least try to come close to what his original vision of the show was. So, if does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to go over anything today? It doesn't have to be about Rich, but it would be nice. Uh, uh, well, that's a good point. Uh, I don't know how good I am at these things. Uh, when I did my brother's wedding, it was entirely off the cuff. It seemed to go pretty well, but then again, we were all pretty lit. So I'm gonna ask everybody to pour a drink and go ahead and raise it on up in a toast to Rich. You magnificent fat bastard. You were such a good friend. Uh, you would give the shirt, you literally would give the shirt off your back to help someone. As much of a gruff outside exterior you had, you were a great man, a great person, and all around one hell of a human being. Woo! A little bit of Jack. Never killed nobody. A lot of bit of Jack has. Uh, as you all know, Rich loved 40K, and he definitely rekindled. I stopped playing or reading 40K fluff um, years ago, and Rich drug my ass back in there with and made me finally sit down and start on the Horus Heresy series. And by God, was I happy about that? Somebody that we would literally sit uh, for hours, sitting on TeamSpeak, fighting over minutia of 40K fluff. With if anybody that is even remotely familiar with that, it's a near impossibility to do so because 40K fluff is so fucking. You have to suspend so much belief on everything. Um, because so much shit counteracts the other stuff, and so that was one of my favorite memories is with him is arguing back and forth over completely banal details of completely useless shit. And then 5 minutes later, uh, we would get into yelling slag out arguments of fucking uh, if we were close, it'd probably been a fist fight. Not a fist fight, but a brotherly fist fight. And then 2 3 minutes later, we were both fine, and it was. Uh, that's one thing that I really liked about Rich is that if I wouldn't have known better, I would have said that he was my older brother. Uh, the we always had a good repertoire, repartee between the two of us, and that's why he drug my ass, kicking and screaming, to do this damn show. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, but I wanted to figure out a way to cover up my face. I didn't want to break OPSEC. I didn't want to do blah blah blah, all the bullshit reasons that everybody doesn't do a podcast. Rich basically did the come on, come on, and just hounded at me and got my ass out, and I did it. And it's been it was a fucking blast with him, and it's been really hard doing it without him. And it's been 2 months that we would have been doing it today, and it was. I think this ended up being a pretty good project, in the fact that I want to uh, keep it going. Let's see here. And yes, one interesting thing that came up about Rich's, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a memorial thread. It was more an obituary thread, notifying the users of Gunnet that he had passed away. It came back to birdshot, and somebody making a comment about how we all loved him, even though he made his comments about birdshot known. And that fucking just turned into a pile of back and forth. Rich would be fucking laughing his ass off reading that. We removed it because it doesn't deserve a place in that thread, but it's fucking hilarious that super super serious post, and, and it fucking devolves down into a caliber fucking war. Well, it's not a caliber war. It's actually something that should be discussed, and that birdshot is not for self-defense. Fuck. People, why? Why must you argue that? It's not hard to put buckshot in your goddamn shotgun. The I don't fuck. In the end, the caliber wars got him. He didn't get the caliber wars. Yeah. There are a couple of people who want to do the no shave November uh, beard in honor of Rich, and you know what? That probably might not be a terrible idea if we want to do some sort of uh, some sort of communal something. I don't know. I'm terrible at this shit. Um, think the internet is worse off without Rich, as as well as the rest of the world. Mm. And I don't know what else to say tonight. Uh, there's so much that we could say, so much that really doesn't need to be said. We all miss you, Rich. Uh, I got to say, I was quite pissed that you're gone. I'm starting to come out of that, but I'm still a little miffed that you're not here to help me with this. You know, you drug my ass into it, but you're not here right now to help me. I'm a little. This is where you would, you know, fire up and help fill the dead air. It doesn't help that you can't. People keep asking me to relive funny moments with uh, of his, and you know, I just can't isolate one off the top of my head. Uh, Other than, you know, there's one that comes to the top, comes well, and it comes back to uh, we play games all used to play games all the damn time, and one of his one of the games we used to play is one called Daisy. For those of you not familiar, Daisy is a very intense uh, survival type game that once you die, you die. You know, it takes a while to build up and gather shit and blah 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 blah. It's fucking uh it's a pretty fun game. You can look up some YouTube videos. So when Rich and I were playing one day, we were uh we were running around this place called Cherno, and we found some newly spawned people, and we ended up striking up a conversation with them and rolling around with them for a little bit because we had a car and we drug them along, and you know, we ended up in the end, we tried to keep them from having any guns, but in the end they ended up with guns, and so we had this little cadre of people that we had picked up. But of course, Rich and I were both fucking pretty geared out at that point, rocking, you know, multi-day survival on these particular characters. And I can't remember what happened exactly that led up to it, but all of these guys that we had helped and we saved their life, and then all of a sudden they just fucking turn on us and shoot us both, shoot him, and then shoot me, and then he was able to he was only knocked out, and then he comes to and shoots back, and well, we both die in the end, in the game, and uh, I was fucking pissed. I was livid, and Rich just turned around and said, "Well, at least they've got gear now," and not even in a sarcastic way, in the fact that he was all right with the fact that they had our gear now because he felt that they must have needed it more. And he was like I've said, he was in the end a nice guy about it. And even in the game, he was able to uh, let that roll off his back. Though that's not to say that he wouldn't get fucking pissed off at World of Tanks and just fucking go irate about the matchmaking system and just fucking scream because he got put against some higher tier motherfuckers and his little you know T-34 got its butt pushed in. So it's not all daisies, but we want to remember those. We want to remember those most. Let's see here. No, I don't think addressing IRC. I don't think I'm going to pull anybody in. It really, it would just cause a whole bunch of fucking. I don't want to upset anybody that doesn't get drug in. You know, uh, I think this doesn't have to be a full length show to date. It's our last one, and if people want to share uh, stories they have of Rich, um, I insist that you do so in the comments or uh, send me a PM or an IM or some sort of notification, and we can either get them up on the YouTube page, or I can read them off, uh, or we just drink some more to Rich. Reading through the YouTube comments and uh, fucking onions. That's all you got to say. It's fucking onions. Well, guys, as far as I'll go ahead and reiterate the new show will be Gun It Live. You'll be able to find it on YouTube. It's on the Twitters at Gun It Live. If you want to go ahead and add that account, we'll be doing some announcements the uh, on the forums, and then it'll also have a independent website that you can go listen to previous versions, and we'll have probably a WordPress type bloggy thing. I do Durapol, but I don't have the time to do so. If somebody wants to participate or help come up with a logo or stuff like that, my only request on the logo, I kind of like the idea of if it was a snoo, since it's going to be Reddit related, we would have some sort of homage to Rich tied into it. One person brought up a very good point of his hands. He in his arms, he had some fantastic tat work, and if we could integrate that or the like, And moving on is going to be the the best thing that we can do, and probably you know what? I'm not going to say it because saying that something is what somebody would want is complete bullshit because people don't even know what the fuck they want. So how do you know what they would want when they're dead? Um, I just think the best bet would be to move on with uh, a new show. New, I hope the same audience. I hope the same group of people would be willing to participate, and then some. Uh, I do have. Oh, here's one thing. The Coonan project. Uh, I still have the one of the original the original Coonan that it's sitting in my my safe at the FFL, and I didn't realize it because no one ever told me that we were supposed to be signing the grips, but the uh, the fact that Rich signed the grips, and I haven't had time to photograph it. And I was just going to send it on. Means I do now want to take time and do a couple of prints, really nice photos of uh, of that, and re get involved with the Coonan project and make sure and we want to get it moving forward. That was something very important to Rich as well. Was the homing benefits for veterans that came off of or whichever charity we decided that the Coonan Project has decided to support. Um, the let's see here. The premise of Gun It Live will probably end up being the same as what we had, except I don't know if I'm going to have a co-host or if I'm going to rotate the guests every month. Um, we'll have a little bit of growing pains, but we'll figure it out in the end, since that's all we can do. And I will go back to being clean shape. See, you'll now see where I have scar tissue here, and it just doesn't grow. But this shit'll grow over fucking night. It's annoying as shit. Uh, that's why I switched to safety razors, because razors that are 5 cents a pop really cut through this shit. Um, and people are bringing up a couple of conversations that they had with Rich. The motherfucker loved to ban people for being stupid, and we had these we have these things called mod challenges. If you fuck up and you get banned, you can get unbanned. And one of the favorite topics was Rich's beard, for the lunches that were generally draw a picture of you and Rich's beard going on a date. And one of the most exciting ones that came back was some quite lewd interactions between someone's butthole and Rich's beard. That was quite the amusing anecdote, as well as Rich loved to tell people to call their mama and tell them and make sure she knows that you love her, as well as making them go outside. We have some pictures of people who, to get unbanned, we told them to go outside and participate in an outdoor activity, and make sure they call their mama and tell her that they love her, whatever. It's the teens. It's hip and new. or making people write a sign and go stand on the corner. That was another amusing one of Rich's challenges. So I want to close tonight with a very firm and sorry goodbye to you, our viewers, to you, Rich. I I'll see you on the other side, and the rest of you, I hope to catch you on our new show, the continuation of the show. Uh, it'll be Gun It Live. You can follow my Twitter, and you'll get more information through there at the OmniFox. And the Twitter for Gun It Live will be at Gun It Live. Peace out, guys. I'll see you on the flip side.